Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we want to thank you for getting up bright and early with us on Wednesday morning. Jack, it is hump day. How are you feeling?
I mean, I started off a little slow today. I was just like, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. It took me half an hour to get out of bed. Let's just do that.
I think it took me like over an hour, and I think it's because I'm in debt with my sleep. So it's like my body's like, yeah, we could do another 30 minutes. We could do another hour, and then it's like 20 minutes before the show, and I'm like, let's get
I,
ready. Let's get ready.
I was this close to me. I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God. Like my monthly's just taking like it's tyranny tail out of it. Cause
Oh.
and it's not like the cramps are bad because I'm taking pills. It's just it takes a lot for your body to do this process. And I feel run down because I'm still trying to. My kids don't know what that's like, so I'm just running around playing with the kids on the tennis court, getting through the day, and then I get home and I have to deal with my other child, and she doesn't know about it, and then I have to feed myself and decompress. And by the time I actually got in bed, it was like 12:30. I kind of took a nap on the couch, but it was like 12:30 once I finally. And that's not a real rest. Like I didn't actually hit that deep sleep. So by the time I got into bed, I was just like, oh, this is going to be a good sleep. And then at 5 a.m., I was just like, but tired at the same time. I'm like,
Those are never great. However, Jack and I are still here ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. We're not going to let our sleep situation keep us down. We're definitely going to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. We're going to start with our trend report. Yesterday, the news was popping with a lot of stuff that we could talk about, but Jack and I pulled out two things that we think one is very important for us to talk about, and the other is just a reminder because I don't know about y'all, but this tends to like catch me out every once in a while. So let's first talk about the fact that there is now a second person that is missing on the island of Bermuda, and he has been missing since Sunday, I believe. And in the report last night, they said he was heading from St. George's to St. Davis around 7 p.m. and his white van, not himself, had been found. And so we just want to talk about how is it possible to go missing in a pandemic on the island of Bermuda, because previously at the start of the pandemic, Chevelle went missing. And it seems like with limited movement, it's really interesting to me that people go missing in Bermuda, where everyone knows everyone.
it's scary because you're growing up in these neighborhoods. You're creating these bonds with people, and it's just I don't understand it. Like that happens in other. You hear that happening in other countries,
Yeah.
bigger countries, but Bermuda's so small, and we can't even find his van. And yes, I be teaching my tennis. I'm like, I see a van, and I'm like stalking it. I've stopped teaching, and my clients are like, everything okay? And I'm just like, I thought that was the van of the missing person. And you got hope where you're just like, oh, he's okay. Like this is great news. Our family will be able to reunite, and it's
Every white van that has passed by that looks like he is definitely does, spark an alert in my mind. And I definitely think it's not a good way to live as a family, one, and as a community, two, because it's like, wait, we're not safe
right.
on little old Bermuda. Like, I don't believe that Bermuda is like this bubble of a place that doesn't have, situations happening.
And we can't even find the van. I mean, that's the last man. That's what I last heard last night when I went to sleep, that we're still even looking for his van. And it's just like Bermuda's only so big. What do we have to do to find him? Do we have to put together like search parties? I feel like the whole island's already included in it because we're all posting the same picture. We're all looking out for him. I have probably 10 people on my WhatsApp status alone that are close, rather they're related or they're friends of the relatives. So that's just 10 people in my immediate circle, like
Mm-hmm.
I hang out with. And it's just like, okay, so those people are searching and their friends are searching, which means I feel like the whole island is just like spider webs out. And it's just
You know what I find really interesting is like there's a lot of people posting about it. There's a lot of conversation about it. Even when there was this about situation, there was a lot of people, like, everyone was on this particular story. I always wonder about the person that did this. Like, how are you okay with, like, everyone having this, like, there's a big conversation around this. Like, everyone is basically, even people that don't know this man, as trying their hardest to at least get the word out. They might not be able to, like, do anything else as part of the search. They might not have recognized his van. They don't live in St. Joseph or St. David, so they haven't seen him. So they're like, but they're doing the posting. And like, for you to be like right next to people or to be in conversation with people who are talking about this, and you're just like, I just don't understand how people could like have any bit of information. But then again, I understand that Bermuda is small. So if you do have information and it turns out to be information that goes to the left, you could be looked at in a negative light, whether you had anything to do with it or not, which then kind of puts people in a sticky situation because it's like Bermuda is small, like we said. So word travels, and even if it's the wrong word, it
Yeah.
becomes the true word. So it's a really interesting balance that Bermudians have to strike on being helpful and possibly being harmful.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that we get some information sooner rather than later, because honestly, losing any loved one at any time in life is not a good vibe. So for that to be like the start of 2022 for a family, it's not good. There's been a lot of bad news in the island. Like, I just wanna, can we get some good news? Like, can somebody do something funny besides Mr. Photo? We're gonna have to like bring Mr. Photo's videos in every episode to just kind of balance things
Yeah.
out. We have this question from the audience, and I do want to come to the audience comments shortly. Aisha, please ask question: was Chevelle ever found? To my knowledge, no. I know there's a case pending against the young man that they believe to have had something to do with her disappearance, but I don't think she herself, her body, was ever found. Jack, did you?
No, this I know. Somebody had posted the other day. We haven't forgotten about you on Twitter. We haven't forgotten about you. We're still looking for you. So I know that they're still looking for her. But on a lighter note, hi Aisha. If it's the Aisha place that I grew up with from literally Adventureland, Port Royal, Sands, yeah.
Well, then Aisha, you have to confirm or deny if you know Jackie in real life. And if you deny, it's okay. Sometimes I do that.
Like probably one Aisha place in the entire world.
I sometimes do that with Jackie. It's okay if you ignore her. It's fine. I want to come to the comments. We have Sean Smith saying good morning to us. Absolutely good morning to you as well. And Jack, coming back on your sleep issue, Jason Shirley says 151 will numb all that pain and put you to sleep. I don't really know.
I'll be like, and it'll be like,
Star's gonna be like,
turn me into
Mom.
a dragon.
One thing about that, though, is one thing to numb the pain, but then sometimes it's the after effect. The pain be gone, but then to deal with the after effect of numbing the pain, that type of pain, is like,
I'm gonna be sick on top of that. I already was bad last night because the cravings were real, and I was just like, I need pizza. And remember, I haven't been eating like pork or too much dairy. So my guilty pleasure is vegetarian pizza. Listen to me. With pepperoni. I know, like, it's a vegetarian pizza. I already had all of that last night.
She had all the veggies and then topped it with pepperoni.
But
on to the next.
Yeah, the reason why is it ends up being cheaper than saying, can I get jalapenos? Can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? Vegetarian pizza's already there. And you just add one topping. It's cheaper. Life hack.
Life hack. It looks like Aisha is the same Aisha that you know from Adventureland. And then coming back to our topic about missing in a panoramic, Sean Smith says, as sad as it sounds, but it's easy. We go indoors and shut off the world around them. How many of us know our neighbors? It's a really great question. I just moved.
Yeah, I don't really know them. Well, I don't really live in a neighborhood. Like, I don't have many neighbors where I am now. But up Spring Benny, it was weird because I went up there to my tenants probably 2 weeks ago, I think it is now. And while I was waiting for the maintenance guy to do what he was doing, I just sat on the wall. And there were people that were coming in and out of Spring Benny. I'm like, they were looking at me like, who are you? And I'm looking at you like, who are you? Like,
not the finger, like, you ain't from her.
Thank you. I grew up here. Have some respect. And I'm just like, and then of course an old lady came back and she was just like, Lambert. And the lady in the car next, so because she must have gotten picked up, and she was just like, "Oh, you know this person?" She's like, "Yes, that's the Lamberts." I'm just like, "Somebody's here."
Someone knows me from here. I'm looking at the time, Jack. I'm wondering if we should
No.
take a quick commercial break and then come back with the second topic from our trend report and then go into our topic of the day, because I don't want folks to miss out on this second trend report topic. But I also know that we need to take a quick commercial break. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Then Jack and I will be right back. Make sure you do not go anywhere. Jack and I have more feel good vibes to bring to you this morning. Don't worry, we started off on a little somber note, but we're going to pick it back up shortly.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. And if you're just joining us, if you've been joining us this entire time and you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and share this episode wherever you're watching. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share it. Make sure you react to this video, the thumbs up, the love, the funny. Don't worry, Jacky's got some corny dad jokes for you later on in the show, so make sure you do not go anywhere. For those of you on YouTube, make sure you share the link and hit the like button. And for those of our tweets over there on Twitter, make sure you wrap those hearts and retweet this episode. Now, Jack, before we get into the next trend topic, I just wanted to bring this up from Aisha Facebook when we were talking about neighbors. The question from Sean Smith. Aisha said, I know my neighbors in the UK more than I did in Bermuda, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. Because one thinks of Bermuda as like this really big community, like this
clearly clearly we've gone off track, and we have to find a way to get back on track, because like I said, it's insane. I know it's possible, but it's still crazy that somebody has gone missing for this long in Bermuda, where back in the day, you get something in trouble, you get in trouble at the back of the neighborhood. By the time you got home, you've already gotten licked twice. And then you get home to your parents, who everybody has called and told them how you're acting. So,
like back in the day, you couldn't do anything. Like you literally could not do anything. You couldn't be seen in town if you weren't supposed to be in town. You couldn't be doing something in school that you wasn't supposed to be doing. Like there's so many things you couldn't do because someone would tell your parent. Yeah. And it didn't matter when your parent found out, but that your parents did find out. Whereas today, things can happen so fast. And even with social media, like even with the virality that happens from posts, there's no way this man's been missing for this long and no one's seen or heard anything. But to Sean Smith's point, sometimes we just, go back inside or go into our own worlds and our own bubbles and just, that's it. So it's a really interesting situation, not the best situation to find ourselves in. However, the more we talk about it, hopefully we can bring some peace to the family in any way, shape, or form that we can. Now, back to our other trending topic, because I don't know about y'all, but in case you forgot, daylight savings is this weekend, okay? This Sunday, we spring ahead. Now, are you guys ready to set your clocks forward? Because I feel like personally, I'm over these early nights. Like I'm over it being dark at 6 o'clock. I'm over it.
Seasonal depression was real, okay? I need my sun. I need my long days. It's nothing like me walking home, like into my house, and it's dark and it's 5 o'clock, and I should still be sitting outside catching sun rays. Like last night, getting home at 6:45, and it was still like a little spark of light. I was super excited. Like I'm driving home and I'm seeing like the tail end of the sunset. And I'm like, it's 6:45. That means next I'll be driving home and it'll be nice and hot and sunny, and I can actually enjoy the day, versus now my day is just cut short.
Like 6 o'clock feels like 9 o'clock, and I'm just like, there's no reason I should be like getting ready for bed at 6 or feeling like I need to go to sleep at this hour. So I am definitely ready to spring forward. I'm ready to do all the things. Give me dark time at dark time at 9 o'clock. I like that.
Between 5:30 in the morning, and then it could get dark at 9:30. I think that should just be the day.
That's a day. That's a real day.
I'm like,
James.
Like,
We both cheesed each other. We weren't sure, like, did we freeze? Are we still here?
I was really thinking of, I was just like, all the good times I've had between those hours. They're coming back, kids.
I'm definitely ready for it. So Aisha Place says she's not ready because in the UK the sun is up at 4 a.m. Now, see, I can't help you with that, sis. Can't quite help you with that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, for Jackie and I, that actually might be a vibe because
that's what I was sitting here thinking.
the light would help us at 7 o'clock. If the sun's already up at 4, we gotta put 3 hours of daylight. So we ain't need no ring lights. We don't need no other stuff. We'll just be good with sunlight.
I know, because it's starting to get light some also. Like I can see the light coming in, but it's not quite strong.
I see on my where I say, because I stay in Taunton, it's definitely lights up. So I'm not facing the light though. So that is a different situation.
I'm gonna blame the foliage. I'm gonna blame the trees.
Of course, blame nature, blame Mother Nature. Why not?
Well, it's nature versus nature, not nature versus nurture. Like this, trees and the sun.
Y'all need to figure it out. Y'all need to talk to each other. Figure it out.
Communicate. Work together, please.
Please work together. So you can see Jack and I are definitely ready for us to spring ahead. We hope that you take this as a reminder. If you didn't already, make sure you plan to set your clocks ahead this Sunday. Most electronics do it on their end, but there's a few that might catch you out. So make sure, like, your stove, microwave, your car, if you got one of them older cars, because some new cars get it. But some of them older cars, you need to, or if you never know. Some people might be late all the time, and so they might be okay with leaving it where it is.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten so used to. I have a clock, like I have an actual regular. What they call it?
TikTok clock.
Yeah, I have one of those clocks, and it just sits up. I have to change the batteries because it only tells the right time twice a day. I still look, and I'm like, oh, what time is it? Wow, it's still no batteries in there, huh? But I can't quite reach it to get it off, so I have to get my dad to come down and do it. Well, I have a stepladder somewhere, but it's better if he does it. It makes him.
Yeah, call your daddy. What are you saying?
We bond over these things.
I said, Jackie, why it makes so long? Take down this clock. It's probably gonna make a noise.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Nah, let's change this for you. Here you go. You got batteries? Yep. All right, I'll put it back for you. Boom." And 3 seconds.
Quality time over.
Yeah.
Now I want to bring in this comment from Sean Smith. He says, yes and no, because the children will be out until 9 making noise. Plus side, I will not be walking in the dark in the early morning. Honestly, I don't think y'all understand this whole walking in the dark early morning or even early evening. It's like really necessary. Like that changes the game. It changes the game.
That's how excited I am. Like I'll be coming home, like, oh, I'm gonna go home and take Star for a walk, and then I get home and it's dark, and I don't trust walking on Harper Road in the daylight, so I'm definitely not doing it at night. At night,
exactly.
They pretty acknowledge my existence during the day. Nope. But now I get to get home and take her for nice long walks, and I had her on the beach the other day.
I saw her. She looked like she enjoyed it.
Yes and no. Like I was walking her to the water, and she just did this.
It was kind of cool, Jackie. I'm pretty sure it was cool.
No, we hadn't gotten to the water yet. Like, but I think she was like, "What is happening? What is that noise?" Because I hadn't taken her to the beach because she never experienced it. So she like read everything and freaked out. So I'm walking, not even near it, and I'm like, "Why is she so hard to? Why is she resisting?" And I look back, and I'm borderline dragging on this. I'm like, what are you doing? So I went back, picked her up, and I rested her in the water. And then she just was like, oh, and then looked at me and then started splashing. I was like, okay, she likes it.
So Star is ready to spring ahead because she's ready for the warmer temperatures so she can take more beach walks. Because she needs to work on her figure. Got it, Star. Got it. And Sean Smith, speaking about the children making noise at late nights, he says now he knows what his neighbors felt when he was a child making noise at those hours. I honestly don't mind kids making noise. Like it's really weird. I know some people like are bothered by it. Like where I used to stay right across from Work Academy, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Saturday, as much as I would like to sleep in, I enjoyed hearing the kids out there playing football. It was fun. I loved it. Like I was like, live your best life.
What I don't look forward to are the adults on their scramblers, like the
that part.
And you just say, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, thank you. That's what I'm not looking for.
The worst is when I hear
or
the like 50s, like where they're screaming, like not even a scrambler, like as a regular bike is a 50 with someone on it that is just not, you shouldn't be on this 50. And the pool bike is like crying out for help. Like there's I don't like either.
Yeah, that's how I the other day I was driving and a bike was trying to get past me and I was just like, hurry up. And then I was just like, okay. So because I was on my bike and I was like, please just go around me, just go around me. I'm not in a rush anywhere, just go around me. So I had to turn, I'm like, go around me. And then he got in front of me, I'm like, oh, you can't. Like your bike's stuck. Right, it's a 50. The way they were riding, like the way they came up, they must have gotten like pure tailwind pushing them down the road.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm like, oh, like why are you still behind me? But we're going over here. I'm like, because like you
your
know
bike
how
can
you
barely
like,
make it.
Zigzag going up the hill to make it.
That's what they were doing. That's what they should have done.
They should have done it. And I like
Go.
a rope to them and helping them get over the hill.
Got you covered. So speaking of star, Jason Shardy says puppy play day. So y'all can take your dogs to the beach and they can play in the ocean together. Maybe Jason's dog can teach Star how to swim. She needs to do her doggy paddle.
I'm cleaning my pool, and once it's where I want it to be, I'll toss her in that.
Yeah, we're Bermuda. I'll toss in. I won't even let her like walk in low side.
We learned like we have a stroke named after dogs, like the doggy paddle.
I mean, but that don't mean every dog. That's like how, not every person knows how to swim from an island.
You're right. I know a few.
Just saying. Now, speaking on the kids, Aisha Place says I have kids, and the way I have learned to go turn deaf to kids being outside is an art form. Honestly, as an adult, it is definitely a pro. That's a life hack.
That's how I am with the kites. Down Bananas Park, it'd be like 5 and 6 flights, and you just hear them. And sometimes my clients will be like, "You heard that?" And I'm like, "No, I do. Why'd you bring it to my attention?" I have mastered not hearing those things, and now that's what I'm going to hear for the rest of the day.
No, I can't unhear it. It's like when someone says something to you, and it's like it's an image, and now like you can't unsee it, and it's like, bro,
don't look down.
You tell me what to do. Of course, I'm going to do it. It's like a defiance. It's a defiance. Now, Dutch, Jacky, and I's Chat Report was a little bit longer today because it was a little bit more active. We did enjoy you guys engaging with us in the comments. Now we're going to switch gears to our real good topic of the day. We want to talk about impact. We have seen yesterday was International Women's Day. So if you did celebrate a woman yesterday, you can still do it today. It's actually a whole week. So we just turned it into a week because we deserve. So you can still go ahead and celebrate a woman today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Do it for the whole month. Women's History Month. Just do it. It's fine. We won't shame you. We would actually celebrate you. So every day if you come in and you tell us that you celebrated a woman, gold star for you. Now, speaking of legacy, Jack, why did you want to talk about this first? Because like we just need to give the audience a little bit of context of where this question came from, because not all the time we be giving them the context of where we be pulling our topics from.
It was just one of those things where I was sitting around and I was just like, I think about how people think about me sometimes, not all the time, but you think about what people have said to you in their vulnerable state, like usually when they're feeling nice, they have a few drinks, they're just like, I love you, you know, you make me happy, da, 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 da. So yesterday with all the International Women's Celebration, a few of my friends hit me up and they're just like, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you, and today I celebrate you as well, and you know, you've been a positive impact, you've helped me push myself to my next level, X, Y, and Z. And I was just like, wow, I've always wanted to leave like a memory of myself and not in some like narcissistic way, but in a way that they're like, I'm happier once I laugh, not in a situation where they think of me, but they're just happier. So whether it's me cracking jokes or making them look at the situation that they're in and finding the positive, whatever the case may be, they feel better about whatever situation they're in once I've laughed. So
that's beautiful.
I wonder if anybody else thinks about how they want to leave it. Do they want to leave a huge legacy, like say Arthur Ashe or Richard Williams or Billie Jean King, any of those, Muhammad Ali, even Layla Ali, that's following in her dad's footsteps with certain things. What type of legacy do you want? One that's worldwide, or are you okay with it just being within your family, being passed down generation to generation? Because I still hear things about my dad's grandfather. I hear things about my grandfather from other people. They find out that I'm David Benavides Lambert's granddaughter, and now I'm hearing the different stories, and it's just, what do you want to leave? Do you want to be positive? Do you want to be negative? Are you not really in that situation to really care? Like, you just want to live life, and which is all fine. Like, all of it's fine. Well, nothing negative. Do matter.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I was like, I wonder. I mean, I'm pretty sure people do have that thought. Like, I want to, turn up. Like, I want to, serial killers, people like that. Like, they probably do have that thought that, I want to create chaos, like a chaotic impact. And so when you said that, I was like, that's interesting. Like, I would be shocked if someone said that they wanted to leave a negative impact that hasn't already kind of shown signs of, being a negative person. Because
the documentaries that are out there, they're absolutely, I have to remember which ones there are, but there are absolutely people that sit down and they're just like, I'm telling my story because I want it to be known. I want to be famous for the stuff that I did. And
crazy that I did.
That's a next level of narcissist.
It absolutely is. So, audience, let us know in the comments what type of legacy you would like to leave, whether you wanted to be, like Jacky mentioned, worldwide or internationals, like some of the greats, or do you want to keep it small scale, local to your family or even your community? We would love to hear from you. I want to come to this comment from Jason Shirley before we continue with our feel good topic. He says, the kids' noise isn't the noise he's worried about in the spring. It's the landscapers coming around more often now and stupid hours. Like, one thing about them landscapers, they get it started.
And you know what's crazy? Every hour is a stupid hour.
It's like no good hour. There's no good hour of the day.
Because you'll be doing it at 8 a.m. for the people that are early risers and have left the house. Why can't you do it when I'm not home during my shift? And it's just like, do we have to, as a neighborhood, get together and figure out what works best for the neighborhood?
But like, the thing is, it's never going to work.
Everybody has to have their landscapers come to their property on Thursdays at 9:45 when everybody doesn't care.
But the wild thing is, like, a lot of people are probably using the exact same landscapers. So you mean to tell me you need like a cruise to service the entire neighborhood at that one specific time? Y'all need to calm down and enjoy the fact that these people are weebacking and not you.
Yeah. You know how they say like, nose blind? I go, well, I wouldn't say tone deaf because I think of tone deaf when it comes to singing. But I don't notice it. Like, I have a landscaper and it's not till I leave and I'm like, oh, I didn't even hear you. And it's just like,
really?
Literally right outside your house.
Right outside your window with the glow.
I just be irritated. I think maybe because I'm irritating, it cancels out in my head.
I'm irritating. That's a selling point for a friend.
I say it every time. People be like, oh, you must be fun today. I am annoying. You don't want this.
I am irritating. That's my tagline. I am irritating.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming back to the comments. So we're talking, if you're just joining us, apologies, Jacky and I like to go off on tangents every once in a while because that's what we do. For our burger topic, we are talking about impact. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Do you want to leave a grand one? Do you want to leave a small scale one? Do you want it to be something related to something that you're passionate about? Is it something related to your family? Let us know in the comments your thoughts, and we will bring them up on the screen for us to engage with. So this one from Sean Smith, Jack.
I don't know if I want to leave a legacy, but if I was able to have a positive impact on one person's life, then I have had a good life. Exactly.
And I think often we don't talk about the word legacy when we're talking about impact, but the two go hand in hand because essentially whatever impact you have is a part of your legacy. Like, at some point, we're all going to leave this physical earth. So that memory of us is, air quotes, our legacy. And so I think a lot of us get kind of caught up in the term legacy because it feels like a very heavy term. It's a term that you hear about when you're talking about the greats, right? When you talk about the Muhammad Ali's, the Arthur Ashes, I don't even know who you said, somebody, Billie Jean, somebody.
Yes.
I was like, isn't that a song by Michael Jackson? But okay, we move.
I promise you that was not his lover.
It's like, okay. But yeah, so we think about a lot of these big public figures, we think of legacy in that term, but I think every one of us needs to kind of recognize that we all do have a legacy that we're going to leave. It doesn't have to be grand, but we should start acting as if we're leaving a legacy because essentially we are. And I think a lot of people would actually change the way they behave, knowing that they're actually going to leave a legacy, whether it's a good or a bad legacy.
We have to actively start, like you were saying, now or yesterday, because as we've seen these past few years, you could be here today and gone tomorrow. And that is actually a terrifying reality, but it's real.
We started the show by talking about a missing person. I'm pretty sure that gentleman nor his family thought they would be dealing with this at this particular moment in time.
No, really, absolutely not. So it's just like you have to be intentional with your times.
Very intentional.
The time that you have left.
Absolutely. Now, Aisha Play says, my legacy is my kids, and I need them to be better than me because I feel like I've messed up enough in my life so that they don't have to do a fraction of the stuff I've done / been through. I mean, as children, we all know our parents can tell us everything they've been through, and we'll still want to go do it ourselves to see what it's about, see what happened. Maybe we won't do it as big or as grand as our parent.
You heard, don't go that way, go this way. That way has a lot of potholes and lights. Go this way.
But it don't look like that. It looks like it's okay.
Yeah, and then you get halfway through and you finally get to the end an hour later. And it's just like, where were you? I told you to take the shortcut. That would have taken you 5 minutes versus 3 hours. Well, I didn't quite believe you. Why? I've done it. Like
I wanted to feel for myself. I used to use that line all the time.
I say it all the time. I just want to make your life easier. So I've tried all of these. This is the one that works. Now you can go and waste your time, money, and energy and go that way. But if you want to save your time, money, and energy, go this way, do that, and X, Y, and Z. And some listen, and then some come back halfway through, and it's just like, so what?
I should have listened.
Because I wasted too much time going that way. I came back to go that way. Cool.
And even this coming from Quantum Fleming, he says, I just want to make life easier for someone else. I think that's a great, legacy to want to leave behind, and leaving just what you were saying, Jackie, around parents, like trying to make your lives easier, but they are trying to make your life easier. I'm not a parent yet. Jackie and I are parents, but we talk about. But even in Jackie as a coach, I'm pretty sure you have comments with the kids and they're like, bro, if you would just do it this way, it might actually help you.
I said, I had a conversation yesterday. And the parents were just like, I'm tired for you. And I was just like, honestly, I'm so used to repeating myself over and over again to kids. But once I get to adults, like if I say, Terry, do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not talking about in coaching. I'm talking about if I come home after a long day and I'm like, boil the rice at this, or put the chicken at this pressure, whatever the case may be, put foil over it. Cooks faster, blah 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 blah, or boil it first, like different little life hacks if it's frozen and you're just like, oh no, I'm just gonna wait for it to thaw out. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna talk to you like you're dopey. So we're gonna eat at 12 o'clock then, because if you do X, Y, and Z and adult language, you'll be eating in 45 minutes.
Not adult language. Jackie had explicits that she wanted to say, like, it's early in the morning. We can't be cussing all this.
I did it like
it's like adult beverage. I love it. If you haven't had a chance to let us know what kind of legacy you want to leave, go ahead and do so in the comments. Jackie and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our Feel Good Vibe of the day, which is Joke Time with Jackie. It is not a section you want to miss because Jackie has the corniest jokes, and we all need a good laugh to get our morning continued on a great and positive note. So Jackie and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Ariana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready to wrap up and wind down today's episode, but don't worry, you can always catch Jackie and I live on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 7:40. We bring you all the feel good vibes to get your morning started, and we enjoy when you engage with us. I want to bring in this last comment from Sean Smith before we get into the feel good vibe. Jack, he says, I am glad my children didn't follow my footsteps in that regard because the amount of stuff I'd done when I was a kid, I'm just blessed I didn't have to deal with the mini me. I feel like you are blessed because having a mini you, I've heard as a parent, is like the most difficult experience.
I think having a mini me would be very entertaining because I was a happy, smiley, fun rebel. Like you'd say stuff like, don't take your sister's bike, take your bike. And I'd be like, I could ride the big bike, and I'll ride down the street and you'd hear and I know my mom was sitting up there like this little and then she'll walk out and I'll come back and I'll be like, so I lost half my face. There's like no skin. I come back and I've got like no knees. There's no skin on my knees. But it's got to be entertaining because it's just like I get up and I'll do the same thing over again until I got it. Like
I feel like you would find it entertaining because you did that, but I feel like a parent that wasn't like that would be like, who is this spawn? Where did she come from?
Like how I am with my nieces and nephews. Like I'll be like, can you climb a tree? Nope, you can learn today. Here, arms up. Who? And I just hang them there.
Not just you just hang it there. It's terrible.
Those such wicked kids. I turn them upside down. I flip them all over the place. Like I can't wait. I even do it with Star. I'm like, come on, Star.
Look,
and
I should find you hilarious too. Yep, same, Jack.
I used to grow up with machine knitting antics. We used to slide down and roll down, put rails heel. We used to do a pack on the what's it called? The play.
I was gonna say the playground.
Yeah, but yeah, we used to.
I used to call it the playground as we wrap up. All right, Jack. I don't know about the audience, but I'm ready for joke time. I'm ready for these jokes. Give it to us.
Okay.
Oh gosh, it's already started, y'all. She just fixed my color.
What did the grape do when it was stopped doing?
It whined.
Yes, it let out a little whine. What does Batman like in his drink?
I don't know.
Justice, aka just ice.
Just ice.
Okay, last one. Early one morning, a husband and a wife were making breakfast together. The man was making an omelet and beating the eggs with a fork. The woman said to her husband, don't forget to add salt to the eggs. The man replied, but I'm already a salt in the egg.
Bro, having a husband like that.
That's supposed to be my person, okay?
I'm already assaulting the eggs.
I'd have no more. Like there'll be no more going.
Shots before I says jokes hilarious, and I always find these jokes hilarious. The last one definitely was the killer, definitely was the best. Aisha says Jackie has been this way since now. Please don't change. I don't think she's gonna change. I agree. Sean Smith, the last one was definitely the cherry on top. Everyone's getting used to your brand, Jack. Everyone's getting used to your brand. We love to see it. As always, Jack and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the Day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Ariana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you tomorrow for more Feel Good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.